Go! Easy, good horse.
This wears quality goods.
Hear tidings of what is happening in our
A fine day for some fine wares.
So too other brothers are quarreling in Gutenberg. Brothers in Christ! Ever since the Cedric monastery was founded...
Look out!
Hear ye! Hear ye! Andreas Blummel, bailiff of Gutenberg.
I'm going to see the mint master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right, go ahead then. But don't waste too...
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a booze. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let...
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Or do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is some...
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure.
Tell me then, what did he give you for it?
We aren't in any danger.
You don't make...
What was I just thinking about?
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it? Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
Actually not.
That's too bad. I think you would like it. And perhaps even learn a thing or two.
Why do you think so?
I just think you might find some common ground with the author. Not in absolutely everything, of course. That's just not possible. But in basic matters, I believe you'd agree. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me?
How should I know?
That's a tempting notion.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together.
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy.
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
There are heaps of stories about men. So I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
I think above all that she should be clever.
And isn't that rather detrimental for a girl?
Only fools say that. Jilted half-wits who met girls smarter than themselves.
You'd be surprised. My father is no fool, but at times he wishes I were more of a goose. Or better yet, that I would change overnight into a sun. But if the lady in our story is clever, should she employ her wits for good or evil?
I'm for good intentions.
I agree. Too bad it's only on paper. I'd like to meet our lady.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch. Especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Imagine a beautiful lady is standing before you, and you are courting her. What would you do?
I'd rather keep what I do to myself. But how about something like this?
Well, now
Finally.
your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. So what about that story of ours?
Too bad there aren't more books like this. If there were, I might end up turning into a scholar.
Really? And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever...
I know, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it would be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
You said you could teach me something.
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you.
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All.
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shoot. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing. So, what would...
Maybe another time.
Halt! Search! Show me what you've got on you!
Go ahead and search me.
Are you deaf?
I've got nothing to hide.
Show me what you... Everything in order. Carry on.
Look out. A fine day.
What's that?
Young man,
A wonderful day for a wonderful purchase.
What's my story?
What do you want? But make it quick, you dirty...
You must be Franta Cooldown. I'm Henry. I heard you're...
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a... Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling... Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
tools, quality tools, sheet metal, chains here, iron and steel.
Let me put it another way.
Finally, some sensible talk. But it won't come cheap. When I count it all up, new clothes, wages, not to mention the coin I'd make in other places if I could say I served...
Try and look on it as an investment in the future.
What are you blabbering about?
If you forget about the payment, I promise I'll do a great job. If anyone asks, I'll say, and then people will be jostling to hire you.
And what if I insist that you pay?
Oh, I might accidentally spill wine on His Majesty's shoes.
If that's how you want it. But if I hear a single complaint against my name, I'll find you and deal with you. Got it?
Absolutely.
To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. I didn't get round to picking it up, so go and see Schneider in the market.
Thanks.
You'd better not. About
Steal.
time.
Knives! Knives for sale! Iron and steel! Bolts for sale!
Big
Straw pot!
What is it?
I hear one Franta cooldown is supposed to come and pick up new clothes from you.
Aye, the finest. I spent the best part of 2, but it was worth it. With clothes like...
As it happens, you hit the nail on the head. Franta asked me to pick up the... He gave me a certificate. See? It's got his name on it.
I was hoping he'd try them on one last time before finally...
And red. Buy some apples. What's for sale?
Still attached to your neck.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony.
Oh, Latin. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at... Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his... Without a tunic, you're no royal waiter, just a common alehouse boy. And have you forgotten your hose? I can't let you into the chamber without them. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come back on time.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't...
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarjit stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly, do not disturb. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide every... Understood?
Absolutely.
Correct, but you'll manage it.
I know everything I need.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
There are the pictures of wine. Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
Hey, wait, town reserve have worse weapons than any räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used
I apologize,
that thing.
sir. Which
That
wine?
Are you
Hackenbüchel
colorblind? White.
hand cannon. Can you believe it?
Mind where you're going.
Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better
Boy,
weapons
are
than
you
the
deaf or
city
something?
garrison.
Why?
And Herr
White.
König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten
Boy,
this is.
are you deaf or something?
The
Why?
Dry Devil is
White.
running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight?
You can shut that damn
exactly?
picture.
The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then?
I fancy
We're
some
sitting
Tokai.
atop the biggest
Refill,
silver
boy.
heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies.
Hey, where's my white?
Nicht wahr?
I
We are
apologize,
more
sir.
than familiar with
Which
the
white?
Gemelli state
White
of our
Tokai.
army. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king
sir.
fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the
Well,
city's
thank
militia
the
as a
Lord.
preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around? Tokai.
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current
I apologize,
situation.
sir.
We shall
Which
wait
one?
and see
guy.
what His
That's
Majesty
the white.
thinks about the matter. Maybe we can
Sir?
change his mind. Vielleicht.
Well, thank the Lord.
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
Come here,
So
friend,
the cleanliness
and bring
of the
that
city
red with
is
you.
not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink. and
Where's
wants
that
to repair the
twit who
baths that
caused
used
the
to be
wine
there.
here?
She's a
I
protege
wanted
of
red.
Mother's. Her efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will succeed. It takes a firm hand, not soft feminine fingers.
A moment ago, you
Where's
were
that
complaining
twit
there
who
weren't
caused the
enough baths.
wine here?
Shouldn't be
I
so
wanted
close.
red!
Something like this is better handled by trustworthy
I'd like
people,
to oblige,
like
but
my friend,
I'm not allowed.
bathhouse proprietor
You can
Adam.
keep that
The need
slop.
for cleanliness
I'm
and
the
citizens'
biggest
health
wine
should not
connoisseur in
be
town.
underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well.
Boy,
And while he's
come
there,
here.
a man can shave and take a...
Is everything all right?
You
No.
know what.
But
So
there's
what?
nothing you can do
Go
about
into
it.
the bath.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free. Ooh,
Why not? In Jerome Nars's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
Nice. Whose silver might this be?
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know,
Hey, waiter, pour me some monastery wine.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Horseshit!
Monastery
You know
wine.
full
Here.
well. Everybody knows. He wiped the floor with you.
I apologize, sir.
Compose yourself, Adam.
Which wine?
And stop
Monastery
drinking.
red.
The king might come any time now.
That's right. Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose myself? Me? I beg your pardon. I demand that you...
Ruhe!
Monastery
Franz,
wine.
please continue.
Here.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Well, thank the Lord.
Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case
Tokai,
it really
and a
was
full
nothing.
cup.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruthard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough
they
not
only
to draw
just pressing
attention
the
to
grapes
himself.
for the Tukai?
Which wine?
Are
That's
you
true.
colorblind?
Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened,
sir.
there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry,
Thank you,
Andreas,
waiter.
but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened,
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Ruthard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Ruthard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us.
I'd like some
That
monastery
German,
wine.
Menhard,
Refill
is
my
just
cup,
hanging around
boy.
the market looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous,
apologise, sir.
Forsooker.
Which wine?
You act like you've never been in a
Monastery
fight yourself.
red.
And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of proof. We're not some old fishwives on the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's that.
Good, sir.
There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the
Don't
open
hang around me.
contempt of the whole
Vanish,
town
you hear me?
garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughingstock of the whole town.
Boy, come
But
here
rest
for a
assured, the
moment.
whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more reason?
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling.
come here for a
constantly at the
moment.
Emperor Charles,
Everything in
and
order?
no one is
Not
left
quite.
unscathed.
But I think you
And
might be able to help me.
councillor,
Come here!
Let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon
What
be
did
out
I
of
do
customers.
to you?
To hell with it.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how much...
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
What did I do to you?
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
What did I do to you?
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I didn't have time, sir. I have other work, too.
Your work is to fulfill the orders of the city council, and you're not...
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they
What
are
did I
calling
do to you?
diocesan pilgrimages to settlements. Right under our
I'll have
noses.
a cup of white.
It's just the village with the monastery. And they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a band
Boy!
of parasites.
Where is my wife?
You pay them, they come late,
I apologise,
or report
sir.
sick,
And
Which
if they
way?
do come,
Tokai!
their
What?
work is shit,
Are you
and
deaf?
you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste of time. I tell you, a waste of time.
Adam, don't interrupt the proceedings
Sir?
with your drunken ranting, even if you are in the right.
About
and as
time.
for you, Endelin, haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare
Why?
of the city
I'd
behind
like
your
some white.
complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses,
Sir?
gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell
Good.
freezes over, my
Now run
friend.
along.
Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
The swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Worthy councillors, we are not on the marketplace to argue like fishwives. The construction
boy,
of the
a full cup of
cathedral
monastery
is
wine.
proceeding slowly and, as Jerome says, there is a war, and there is neither money nor craftsmen. But with our joint powers, we will finish the building to the glory of God and our city.
Come
Even
now,
if it
waiter.
takes
I
100
wanted
years.
red. I apologise,
What is
sir.
next in the order
Which
of
one?
business?
Red. Am I speaking in Latin?
Good, sir.
Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's going to tackle Rootard.
Azonal Juchek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, ich Kelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Unlike this man of fives!
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here.
I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms.
And now you're 2 decades older, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father...
None of that matters a damn...
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop this... Do you know any of the...
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here.
Wait a moment.
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to... Maybe you should go and...
I wouldn't be too... Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
He's got more...
Can he be trusted?
He's a blab. Besides, if he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly...
How does it feel to breathe?
What can I say?
Or until you become a priest?
No fear of that in my case. Wine, women...
What do you plan to do now you're a free man?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance...
I'll leave that to the older and wiser.
Dear me. I'd rather creep, but I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of...
Indeed you should.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer...
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, and we are both a little on unfamiliar ground. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here?
Because we all need to have... And why would...
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious... The situation in the town and the kingdom is... You have men and weapons. We have the means to...
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to...
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have...
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the...
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That... messenger of Radzig Copula.
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Or maybe you'll get to know each other. For a young stripling, he was supposed to become a blacksmith. And instead, he's roaming the world.
Wait. A blacksmith, you say? From Scarlet's?
Aye, that's right. Did you know...
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all...
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzig Kobyla. Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out...
Enough. I'd rather have a drink.
For that, there will be...
Good health.
L'chaim.
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation.
Good health to you, sir.
Baron Vauclin, I am a warrior.
My word.
Mais non.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right... How did you...
And only...
That name... You...
This boy, you tell me...
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided...
Then, what are you...
Where have you...
But of course! If you are... And
you wouldn't... But
which one do you...
You say you're...
Jamais, I think...
How come...
I am open. My grade there?
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. By the way...
That's not a thing.
I have my... From what I...
Was that...
Indeed.
It depends.
A little delicate. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has... And the way it stands...
Well...
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized, and he's able to tackle fort...
But he can't retreat either.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until... For the plan to work, we need allies. Their money and their determination. We just need negotiators who...
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like if we find some...
You've got an in...
You're certainly not the first. Why are you doing? Because I want to put a stop to the senseless, and also because...
I'll help you.
I'll give you 3 names. But if you can get those 3, meanwhile...
I'll get on.
I wish us...
Success.
Wo liegt das Problem? Davon hätte ich gern noch mehr, bitte.
I tell you, nobody
where's
has
that
the
beer?
right techniques.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Wojciech. He's a great lord.
Martin likes to exaggerate.
Look
He's
out.
talking about sorry nags even when they belong to someone else.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by hawks. Just a nightingale.
And you won't lend yours on any other day?
Cheers! For that.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like...
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that.
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady.
To muster an army that Margrave can't...
Christ.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their... Although...
How do you know Liechtenstein?
I know most of... But they wouldn't... While it's...
I'd say...
Not only for people...
Then you were in the right place.
So...
Nothing more than...
Nothing more.
You manage large estate.
I've managed quite well up to now. If you want me to support...
Do you have something in particular?
Well...
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would...
I'm supposed to rob...
Harman Alder was given the documents to deliver to... He hasn't yet had a chance to look...
All right, I'll...
Alder will bring them to... But watch yourself.
Take a look at that.
What brings you here? God bless.
I just need to get something from the shed. You know what? Take this here. And you saw nothing, all right?
And what's there to see?
Not a sausage.
leave unattended. God bless.
I've got those papers from old...
Quiet! You don't have to...
Milady, with all the clamor going on here, I cannot hear the R.
You're more capable than I expected.
You're welcome.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal.
Thank you. No.
Yes, quite. But let's drink.
How could I refuse a toast with...
And to the success of our...
I'd like to check your...
Ha! Even better. But you...
And you might not believe your... Well, well. We have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for...
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then.
We'll talk later and in private. Right now we...
Don't try my patience.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat. I got him a place at the Archbishop, only it wasn't long. And then, but he took...
Try saying it...
You have the impertinence to show me your face?
You're exaggerating.
Me? You're hoarse.
Oh, but maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime.
You're
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to...
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no... I can have a word in private with Lord Odoric.
Out of the question. And he's got plenty...
You want suit yourself...
After you.
Well, that's that.
Shouldn't we rather...
No. Christopher would...
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. That was sneaky. Hey, who taught you that?
Swing with your whole arm, not just
No
your
chance.
wrist.
Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Stand firm. Otherwise, the first strike will put you on your arse. Arm low.
Come on, then! That was sneaky.
Look in my eyes, not at my sword.
Hey, who taught you that? That was sneaky. Did they teach you that in the seminary?
What's wrong with your legs?
No, you don't. That was sneaky. Bad luck. Come on, then.
You don't know which end of that thing is up.
That was sneaky. Sacre. You're fast. You want to...
Cover your right side. You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through.
Hey, who taught you that? show! That was sneaky. Did they teach you that in the seminary? No chance. Enough. That will do. My God. Father always...
I was in a war, and you...
Aye.
So father would be... Only he'll never...
I thought he was...
Not at all. I remember when I was 6 years old, I fell off a... He wouldn't talk to me for a week.
The first time he took me hunting.
Only 3 days.
I always wondered who you were.
Look, I really did fuck up but now... I have a...
And that's why you want...
Aye. The outcome of...
That sounds very important. Considering you and Alder are both... After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he...
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that?
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
God bless. And with you?
So long. Why we mustn't push too hard.
Sir Bochek,
A man hardly puts his... Yobs comes up with it.
On the contrary.
Does that improvement include
a few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument? Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not...
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it...
Of course. Once it comes...
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, I have a lot of property, lots of stuff. I can't risk it all in a
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly...
My guarantee is called Yitka. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong...
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among...
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be...
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches. On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied. Maybe it's not such a bad...
So,
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young... If he agrees, I'll be happy to. The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice.
I've got some good...
The bad news is that there's some old so at least tell me the good.
You're going to get married.
Good one. Is she at least pretty?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin. Wait till Hanush hears this. Now, enough nonsense. Let's have a drink.
To your health.
Take a look at that. And...
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it.
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
You arranged a marriage for my ward? Just like that? With who?
With the niece of Sir Butchek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yitka.
Butchek of Kunstadt? The Butchek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa.
Oh, forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. And to your parleying skills.
Sir Butchek.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain with...
Thank you, Lord of...
Enough formality. We'll have...
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. Unlike this pack of
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg?
They're forefathers, and they think, but
sir,
allies on.
What do you think about your...
Are you testing me? Jobs
to turn out well. Some are up to...
Better make sure you're among the latter, then.
I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here with a clear plan. But maybe you...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret?
Like I said, miracles happen. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin.
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter. From right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein. To do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see? All you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swill pot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Sargitz, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh. Rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it was time to strike against him. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago.
You don't. Can't you tell white from red?
Well, no matter. At least the Takai will remind us of our home. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished the throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobs does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobson is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in the land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be. We could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.